Hello, everybody. I am Mel Barrett, and welcome back to Something's Off, true crime podcast where we question the F out of everything. We're back for part 2 of the Clancy trial, day 2. We had some emotional testimony this morning, the playing of the 911, which we did not hear, and some emotional reactions from Lindsay herself. This morning, we ended on a lighter note because we watched a little bit of my pal Jimmy, aka Auntie Deb, and his rant from this morning. So we're trying to keep it light. This is a difficult one. We're going to get back into it. Court is not back yet. I am waiting. The feed is up and ready to go. So we're going to start this off very shortly. But until then, good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm Smile.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
the joylessness
I don't
of
give a
those
fucking
people.
miss. Blah.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
We're gonna go members only.
Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off. Something's off.
Something's off. So many things are off, honestly, you guys. I am back. I'm without my co-host, whom I miss dearly, Rebecca Brandy Lavoie. It's not really her middle name. I miss her, but she's going to be back with me tonight at 7:30 p.m. for our members only cross roast. And we're going to be roasting one of 3, Yuri Buchanan, Brian Higgins, or Brian Albert. And I will let you know when we get there, because I'm not going to tell you right now, because I'd be giving things away, and I don't want to give anything away. I'm usually pretty good at keeping a surprise or a secret. My partner, Lindsay, is not. No matter what happens, if she does something that's awesome and she is excited about it, she gonna tell me about it. Christmas, trips, whatever it might be. She just brought me a cup of coffee, and I appreciate her because I'm exhausted. Hello, Luna Dewdrops. The mirror ended up being a lot bigger problem than we expected it to be. She is the mouthy one. I assume you're talking about Rebecca, Lady Harlot. I'm pretty mouthy, but in a different way. Excuse me. Last night, we had a mishap with the side mirror on the car. And if you were here in the chat with us, you saw me holding up a giant piece of mirror that came off the car. We took it to the garage this morning. They were like, yeah, this is a big job. We can't do it. So we actually had to put an insurance claim. Now it's going to have to be dropped off and blah, blah, blah. Stupid. But you know what? It'll be fixed and hopefully it'll be done right and we'll be good to go. Elena says, right off the bat, coming in hot, Elena, I don't want to be that woman, but the misogyny of people covering this case is astonishing. Agreed. I've seen a lot of stupid shit out there. A lot of stupid shit. I was doing some research. This morning, we went over what happened in the first half of the day. It was very emotional. Patrick Clancy was back on the stand, though I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why they just are dragging him through this. He might be called back. I almost feel like the defense is not going to call him, but I'm not really sure. He's on standby. The prosecutors felt it necessary to hold up the children's clothing in court and show that to the jury for God knows what reason. They also played the 911 tape. We did not hear it. They put us on mute, which is good. Sadly, the 911 tape is already out there in the public. A lot of people have already heard it. And unfortunately, the jury had to sit through it, and so did LINDSAY Clancy, and it wrecked her. And it was very difficult to watch that happening. I only showed like 3 seconds of it, 5, something like that. It was blech, blech. I don't feel great about it. We did get a couple of other witnesses that were just like useless. I mean, they're not as people and not as witnesses. They're good people, I'm sure. But literally, we heard from a manager from CVS who verified what Patrick Clancy has already verified for us, that he went to CVS to pick up a laxative for one of their kids, Cora. And we also heard from the hostess from the restaurant where he went to go pick up their food. Tell me why. I mean, I understand. In between these feeds, I did a little bit of research. So basically what I've gathered is that the state or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, what they have to do is they have to prove that she was sane at the moment she unalived her children. I think anybody who's looking at this case knows that the woman wasn't sane. They're still looking at her and realizing she's not sane right now. And just because she was having a good day or acting calm or going about her mom duties does not mean that she was in her right mind when she unalived her children. So I think that they have a high burden. They have a beyond a reasonable doubt she was sane when this happened, excuse me. I think that's a big burden for them, huge burden for them, which is probably why Kevin Reddington is not questioning any of these witnesses. He's just letting them hang themselves, basically. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I did. Figure of speech. It was regrettable. Luna says the Commonwealth has no case, really. Their argument will fall apart as soon as the medical experts get on the stand. I agree. So I don't know what we're doing, wasting the taxpayers' money, but here we are again on a stupid case, that they should not have brought in the first place. The errands, okay. Amy says the errands will be the hardest for the defense to overcome. It looks like premeditation. It looks like, I understand what you're saying, Amy. I think that the defense is going to say, rightly, that she was trying to take care of the kids and sent him out to get dinner and go to CVS because A, the child, Cora, needed the medicine that he went to get, and B, she wanted him to get back as soon as he possibly could because she didn't want to be left alone with the kids. That's what I think the defense is going to say based on their arguments in the civil case. And I don't think that's going to be hard for them to get over that burden. I think Kevin Reddington is a very good attorney. And I think he's going to find a way to have that explained to the jury. I understand what you're saying, and I do believe that you're right. I think that the case for the Commonwealth completely hinges on the fact that she looked up how long it takes to drive to the restaurant, and the fact and because she mapped that out, they're going to say that's premeditation. I don't see it that way, but that's what they're going to say. And I will say this, if I'm on the jury and I even think that it was premeditated, it goes along with her psychosis. So the burden, I don't think, is premeditation here. The burden is, was she sane when this happened? And I don't think she was sane. And I'm not a doctor, but when the doctors also tell me that she wasn't sane, I'm going to be like, there, see, I was right. Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. Lady Harlot said families need to run errands. It was dinner and stool softeners, necessities. I also think that she probably came off as very calm because she was a taskmaster. She was doing tasks that stabilized her. Being in control of some things stabilized her. That's my opinion. I'm not a therapist or a psychiatrist, but when she had her mom duties, like throughout the whole day, taking Cora to the pediatrician, making the snowmen with the kids, taking care of the kids all day, feeding them, um, you know, directing schedules, communicating with Patrick about what was going on with the kids, all of that is the only thing that kept her sane and normal. But I see it as a facade. I see it as her dipping into something that makes her feel a little bit safer, but with the demons still sort of like, coming after her the whole time. That's the way I look at it anyway. Luna said the Commonwealth has no case. Their argument will fall up. Yeah, we already said that. Kitty on the beach. Kitty says, Mass resident here. I was always proud to be from here, and the past few years have soured me. So grossed out by what I've been watching and all the powers at me makes me sick. Yeah, I grew up in New England. I grew up in New Hampshire, went away for a while to a couple of different states, and then lived in Boston again for 13 years. And I loved my home. I was proud of my home. I think of New England, all of New England, as my home. And now that I'm seeing like how the courts are run there, how the justice system works there, I'm really disgusted by it. But I will say this, Kitty, it's not just Massachusetts. Our justice system is a mess right now, and it has been for a long time. And I think that what's happening with like going through these trials and discussing this stuff with you guys, we're starting to become aware of it the same way we are becoming aware of what was happening with our government with the Epstein files or whatever it might be. We're becoming aware of things that we weren't aware of before, or maybe we didn't want to be aware of before. And now I think it's a good thing because we're feeling like we have to do something about it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Let me check in on court here really quick. No, they're not back yet. He said 2:00. That's okay. They're usually late. Don't apologize for being chatty, Luna. Don't ever apologize for that. Speak your mind, girl. Lady Harlot says, Mel, you're going to have to tell me about your old favorite haunts in Somerville. I'm moving there soon. Give me something to look forward to. It depends on what part of Somerville you're moving to. I lived in Teal Square right next to Davis, two of my favorite places. Somerville has some really good food, really great restaurants. I think a lot's changed since I've lived there. I haven't lived there for like 4 years. And from what I've been hearing, like some of the old places are going away. I heard that the Somerville Theater might go away, and that's like a mainstay, and that pisses me off. That's in Davis. So I live like a couple blocks over from the Tufts neighborhood. And I love Teal Square. I love Davis Square, Powder House, all good places. I would say, oh man, I can't think of the name of that square right now. There's an amazing farmer's market. It's down by Market Basket on Mass Ave, and I can't think of where it is. I can't think of the square, but go to the farmer's market. Just look up farmer's market in Somerville. You'll find it. It's a great farmer's market. And, it's right in the middle of like the downtown area. It's good times. We got camera movement. Here we go.
All right.
Jury isn't in.
Counsel, could I just see you in regards to the scheduling this
Sidebar. Sidebar. Somerville is home to the Slut Cracker Show in Davis Square, and I cannot wait to go again this year. I hope they don't shut down the Somerville Theater before you can go see the Slut Cracker. It's fucking amazing. They do it every year. They also have really great like independent films there. And whenever I needed a place to, like, there were a couple of things that I did where I was working with a film collective. And so I would have my meetings in the Somerville Theater, and they have some basement theaters. that are smaller. And so I used to use those theaters a lot. I loved it. That's where my pet sitting dog walking business was, Somerville, Cambridge, and I did it for 13 years, and I love that community. They're good people for the most part. Let's see. Melanie Fox. Yes, Mel, I think this is so important that we're all learning and motivated. Same. We got to make change. It's the only way. Like, this is our government. They work for us. We have to hold them accountable. That's why the press is a good thing. That's why I am fully behind what Aidan Carney does, because he is trying to hold his government accountable. Press media is the fourth estate. We are just as much a part of this government as they are. And we, the people, they work for us, all of them, all the way up to the very tip top, the very little orange tip top. And we have to hold them accountable, and we have to demand that they do the right thing. Oh no, what happened to my feed? Cancel. Is my feed still up? Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Why did it go from big screen? Okay. So do what you can. I mean, like, politics is local. So get involved, speak out when something doesn't seem right to you. Don't be afraid of your government. They work for you. They better not shut down. I know. I hope the Somerville Theater doesn't shut down, but I read an article a couple weeks ago that said they might. They're being sold, I think. And that sucks. I since I've been gone, I hear that Davis Square has become really commercial. Like, there's so many commercial businesses in there now that it used to be like mom and pops, and not so much anymore. I will say in the surrounding area too. I mean, where I lived in Somerville was right on the border. Like, I could drive down the street and I was in Cambridge. So Mass Ave coming from Medford, Arlington, Somerville, Cambridge, all of those little towns right there. So many good things, so much to do. So check it out. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And if I can answer them, I will for you. All right, we're back in. Can you guys hear it okay? Time to spill the tea into the harbor. Word. Sunapee nerd. All right, Jerry's back.
Yeah, thanks.
I think these cases where that deal with, privileged white women who have the money for good attorneys, I think that should be opening everyone's eyes, because imagine if you didn't have the money for an attorney. Imagine if you had to have a public defender. What's Kevin Reddington doing? Look at that giant ring on his finger. What's he doing here? I love how he just kind of like walks around, hands in pockets, stares off into space. He's so comfortable in a courtroom. I love to see that. I don't really care what his politics are. I don't care who he's voting for. I don't care what money he's giving to what campaigns or whatever he might be doing. What he's doing in this case is so friggin' important. And Lindsay is lucky to have him. Really lucky to have him.
Court, all rise.
Jurors.
Jurors entering.
Thanks for letting me know the volume's okay. MSVUSMC. I know you're not Nan. You've been so generous this week, though, and I can't thank you enough. We do a lot of work on the show, And sometimes it feels like we're screaming into the void. So anything you guys can do is so helpful.
This court's now in session. Please be seated.
Your Honor, for the purpose of the record, we return back to the trial of Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy. All parties are present, including the defendant and including the 18 jurors.
All right. Well, members of the jury, thank you for your patience with us. What we're now going to do at this point is
Send you home.
turn to the evidence. We have
Okay.
witness Patrick Clancy, who testified earlier.
Oh,
Now
geez.
we recall, as I said,
Good God.
for the purpose of cross-examination.
Okay. The defense is going to cross Patrick Clancy. Okay. This is going to be very interesting. It's going to be hard to watch, but it's going to be very interesting, I think. Good for you, Reddington.
You and I have certainly met before, correct?
Correct.
Would you agree with me that I went with you and your brothers, maybe some other people, into your home very shortly after the state police finished with searching and removing what they felt was evidence from the home?
Yes.
And you recall that went into different rooms and looked at different things, and I think I took some photographs and things of that nature. You remember that?
Yeah.
So, if I may, you met Lindsay back when she was in school, or was she working as a nurse?
She was at the MGH Institute.
And the MGH Institute is like Mass General Hospital nursing program, correct?
Correct.
She had some kind of like an accelerated course or something?
Yeah.
Had a double major?
Yeah.
Was a very good student?
She was, yeah.
And she, at a relatively young age, got her RN and was a nurse at Mass General, correct?
Correct.
And at
I know it's a little hard to hear Reddington. He's standing a little bit away from the mic. That's why I put the captions up. So luckily we can hear Patrick's answers. This is Patrick Clancy, Lindsay Clancy's ex-husband and the father of the 3 children who are no longer with us.
Mass General, she was a, we call it L&D, a labor and delivery nurse, is that it?
Yeah.
Do you remember how many years she worked in Mass General?
I think she started in 2014.
Do you remember when she graduated from nursing school?
6 months earlier.
And were you guys?
That's a weird shot, guys. Come on.
We were,
Look
yeah.
at the back of
And had you
Reddington's
started
head.
together in Southie, or was that before that?
Not in Southie. We didn't live together in Southie. We lived together in Quincy.
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 Tell us a little bit about, you know, Lindsay, obviously, the most. How did she like being a nurse?
She loved it. I think it was her dream.
Would you say that she enjoyed her work and helping people?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, let's see.
So there's been some commentary here from the government about that she was anxious because she had to go back to work, or she didn't want to go to work, she's lazy, or whatever the case may be.
This is sustained. If you could rephrase that.
All right, so I'll strike lazy then, that she didn't want to go back to work. But I believe you said in answer to the DA, there was a reason that you could see that she was anxious about going back to work, correct?
Correct.
Now, was she anxious about going back to work, to your knowledge, because she just didn't want to work?
No.
What was the reason?
She struggled to be away from our kids at a young age.
So when you guys ultimately moved to Duxbury, did you have children then?
Yeah.
And as the years went by, obviously, you have more children. Ultimately, you got 3 children,
Yeah.
correct?
Sorry,
Yes.
guys.
You told us about her birth with Cora, and
Yeah.
Cora, it was a bit of a rough birth. Is that right?
Yeah, she didn't have time to get an epidural, and she bled a lot.
Do you, in the years that you lived with Lindsay as boyfriend and girlfriend, fiancés, and then ultimately husband and wife, do you recognize her
Clint.
handwriting?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but so I'm not sure.
Okay. While counsel's looking at that, is it your understanding, would she take notes or lists and
Yeah,
for work and home and things of that nature?
we would, yeah.
Yes, D. Cools. This is Patrick Clancy, the ex-husband.
I'm going to approach you, sir, with this document and just ask if you can recognize the handwriting.
Yeah, that looks like her handwriting.
Looks like Lindsay's handwriting?
Yep.
So I'm going to, may I after this?
Any objection?
Yes.
All right, if I could see counsel.
I'm going to try to switch up my view a little bit here. Media slot. I'm being quiet because I'm I'm doing a little designy thing over here. Why did that just move? There we go. I did it. I did it. I get tech. I know tech. I understand it. You didn't interrupt, equals. You just asked a question. Don't beat yourself up. Sound is weird. Stop that.
Yeah.
Pull it away a little bit. Looking at this, what does it appear to be to you, if you know? Appear to be notes of deliveries that she was involved with?
Yeah.
You see the first one, what's the date, if you can read it? I can't.
It says May 11th, 2015.
And does that indicate, would that, to your knowledge, be around when she started working as a labor delivery nurse?
I thought she started a little early, but I'm not sure.
This is interesting. I just want to stop for just a second because this looks to me like a list. Well, it says at the top deliveries. So I'm assuming this is Lindsay keeping track of all the deliveries that she worked on at the hospital. This reminds me of Lucy Lepke, like the cases she worked on and the journals that she kept. It's probably not that similar because Lucy Lepke has been accused of randomly unaliving children that were in her care. So it's a little bit different, but it looks like they both took similar notes. And I think what Reddington is about to get to is, I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but up here, this is May 11th, 2015. G4P2 at 38.9 weeks, spontaneous labor, admitted at 3-18011, admission, epidural, no augmentation, fully at 1538, pushed for 5 minutes, NSVD, viable, female, quote unquote, Cora, APGARS, 8-9, transferred to postpartum. So I think what Reddington is about to get to is that Lindsay and Patrick named their first child Cora after Lindsay's first delivery for the hospital she worked for.
Sure.
You see the name of the little girl that was born on that date that was her first delivery?
Yeah.
What's the name?
It's Cora.
And is that the reason you guys named Cora?
It was, yeah.
Can you tell the jurors, as a husband living with Lindsay over the years, what kind of a mother was she?
She was very dedicated. She did everything. She started reading them books at 3 months. And she made up songs for them. I remember she used to make green eggs and ham for Cora because she liked that book.
Oh.
Is that one of the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah. She brought them to music classes.
You're quite the musician yourself, isn't that right?
I play a few instruments, yeah.
You play guitar?
Yep.
In your home, one of the things that appears to be striking is that almost every room, other than maybe a bed, well, actually a bedroom, but was dedicated to children. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have a fancy dining room, right?
We did not, no.
What did you have in the dining room?
We had the table that I grew up with.
How about stuff on the wall in the different rooms? Did she put things, wall hangings on the walls for the kids?
There was a lot of art projects, stickers, things like that.
And would they be hanging from the wall?
Yeah.
One of the photographs that the government had was photograph that, excuse me, if you can identify for us, is this photograph a fair and accurate depiction of one of your rooms?
Yeah.
And what room would that be?
That's the playroom.
Oh, thanks for the tip, Mary. I
Any
appreciate your tips,
All right,
guys.
that may be admitted. Thank you.
If I may put exhibit 58 up so the jurors and the zone can see it.
Make sure
There's
this
some
is not
kind of
something
like,
crazy.
so it's boxed out window. So are we standing in the kitchen looking into that room through that boxed out window?
Yeah.
It's a kid's
And
playroom.
all those objects, obviously, that are in that room would be kids' toys and things of that nature, right?
Right.
Do you recognize this photograph as being
Or Patrick.
a sample or sampling of kids' rooms?
Yeah.
You know which room that was?
I think it was Dawson's.
Okay, we're off of this.
The objection.
No.
All right, that may be admitted. All right, thank you.
This one here has a bunch of stickers. It's got Bruce Lightyear or whatever his name is over to the right.
He said Bruce Lightyear,
Alphabet, ABCD, things of that nature,
which
correct?
it's not.
It's Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. He corrected him.
Again, following through on that same theme, you recognize this photograph as well being another portion of that wall?
Yeah.
And what are those, decals?
Yeah, they're just big stickers.
In the interest of time, Your Honor, I would just say, you also identify this as being one of the kids' walls. Would that be what you were telling us would be art projects?
Yeah,
And they were hanging on the wall?
correct.
Who hung them on the wall?
I think Lindsay did.
And was she also
Reddington
taking
looking at
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures of the kids?
Yeah.
Do you recall her putting together a little collage?
This is so sad.
saying newborn,
Guys, if you need to
newborn,
protect
2
yourself,
months,
you know
4
what to
months,
do.
hanging that on the wall?
Yeah, she did it for each kid.
Which child was that?
That one's Dawson.
Did you have occasion to see her interact with Dawson as a?
Ray, did you wish to introduce those photographs?
I appreciate it.
Good job, Judge. He forgot to introduce them and put them in as evidence.
Okay, thank you.
Can you describe for the jurors her relationship with Dawson? I know he was a little kid, but I mean, did she, to your observation, did she love Dawson?
She
This
loved
camera.
Dawson very much.
Stop it. Stop it.
Did she resent him?
No.
No.
You are familiar with, as her husband, Lindsay's, let's say, use of social media such as Facebook, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us, would you look at her Facebook a lot and the pictures that she would post?
To be honest, no, not really.
Okay. Were you able to identify any of her postings on Facebook?
Probably.
Representative, over the years, or the period of time, I'm going to ask if you can identify this particular Facebook.
Your Honor, if we may approach briefly.
Sure. Counsel.
I guess he's trying to show something from Facebook, and prosecutors don't want that to happen. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause it. See if we can get backed up a little bit so that I can go faster for you guys, because this is hard to watch. Yeah, I think that what Kevin Reddington is doing is just trying to show the jury that she loved her kids. And so if she loved her kids this much, then something had to have taken over her to do what she did. I think that's the bottom line. It's pretty simple to understand, honestly. Um, I know it sucks that Patrick is on the stand. He's doing a really great job trying to remain calm and not get too overly emotional, which I know is difficult. Um, I just think that this is hard. It's going to be hard to get. There's going to be a lot of testimony that's going to be really difficult to get through. This right now is not graphic, which is why I want to show it, because I haven't really heard the defense yet. I've only heard what the prosecution has to say, so I'm really interested to see how, the defense puts on a case. So, hold on a sec here. Luna, no, I don't believe this is the first time Lindsay and Patrick have seen each other. He definitely saw her in the hospital, and I think he's had communication with her outside of that. Yeah, D Cool said, I said this in the first stream, but if he wanted vengeance, I'd have a very different opinion on this case. He isn't clearly devastated and just wants her to get help. That's the best outcome here. Facts. Dropping facts. All right, let's see where we are. See if I can speed it up just a little bit. Sit through the sidebar. Yes. He seems so lovely and sweet. I agree. Yeah, I mean, Rage Knitter, this is such a good point. The prosecution, when they got up to do their openings, they're like, she just wanted control. She didn't think anyone else could take care of the kids the way she did. She was pissed she had to go back to work because she was lazy, like all this stupid shit. That's what they were implying anyway. And this is showing the opposite of that. So I think it is important. I know it's hard to sit through, but it is important. Yeah. Wanting vengeance would be so human. It says a lot. He's backing her through this, Lady Harlot says. Deidre says, it's going to be very important to tell the jury Patrick supports Lindsay and has forgiven her and wants her to find peace. Agreed. I did mean is in there, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yes, we do. We know what you're trying to say. What are we doing here, guys? Still at the sidebar. I wonder what the prosecution is objecting to here. And I don't know why we're completely muted. I'm also interested to see how the judge is going to handle the rest of the schedule for this day, because he did say that the jury would be done like 3 or 4 o'clock. And it's 2:30, so we'll see what happens. What are we looking at? I just want to make sure it's something that we can show and that's not too graphic. But I don't get the feeling that Kevin Reddington is going to be doing anything like that. Putting stickers on shit. Or Patrick. Man. The amount of stress I feel when I miss a call from someone who's calling me from prison, which I've just missed 2 of. I did tell this person that they couldn't call me right now because I would be on air, but
And if I ask a question,
Eesh.
it's difficult, or if you need a break, I'm sure that, Ms. Notizono will certainly give you a break.
Yep.
Right? Push too hard, just let me know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
if I push too hard, just let me know.
So again, just
Reddington said.
of the Facebook postings that Lindsay
Oh,
would post
babies.
as the mother of your children. This, for example, would be July of 2018.
Yep.
Can you tell the jurors who that would be?
That's Cora.
No, it's not Pam. It's the guy I've been telling you guys all about. I told him we were going to talk this weekend, but he might just need to talk.
Say June of 2021.
Yeah, these are just pictures from Facebook of her kids.
That's Cora and Dawson.
It says crazy about these two. That was the caption on the Facebook.
Again, the end of July 2021.
And this one says family
That's
fun.
with Cora and Dawson.
August 2021.
Dawson.
Love my one-on-one time with my baby boy.
End of August 2021.
It's Cora
I
and
feel like the
Dawson.
luckiest mama in the world.
August again of 21.
It
Cora
just
and
keeps
Dawson.
getting better.
Number 1 of 21.
This is a long one. I'm so proud of the beautiful, confident, independent little people they are becoming, and I'm so excited for all they will learn and do in school this year. These are probably first day of school pictures of Cora and Dawson.
Cora and Dawson.
Is that first day of preschool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
September of 21.
This one says no better feeling in the world than having a daughter, National Daughter Day, and it's pictures of Cora and Lindsay.
That's Lindsay and Cora.
And was that some kind of like a family fun day, if you recall, where there was like lots of things for kids to get in?
Yeah.
This poor guy.
The end of September 21.
The amount of strength that it takes to do what he's doing.
Um,
Yay, Son's Day. The love between a mother and a son is indescribable. How unbelievably blessed I am to call this most handsome boy my son. And I believe this is probably Callum.
no, that's Dawson.
Oh, that's Dawson. Just kidding.
September 21. Callan was born when? Sorry.
May 2022.
Okay. And Christmas Eve, December 24th of 2021.
That's Cora's birthday.
Okay, and that's her birthday.
Happiest
party,
4th
right?
birthday to the sweetest girl gift God ever gave me. She's growing into the most
Correct.
perfect version of herself, and I just couldn't love her more.
And that would be December, Christmas of 2022, right?
Right.
And was that when you guys had the birthday party for Cora at the trampolines?
No,
When was that?
I believe it was January 7th.
Okay, but that would have been for that particular birthday, right?
That was for the birthday with friends because most people weren't available on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then down. Again, September 1st of 22.
Me and my boys.
Yeah, that's with Callan and Dawson.
Was that your yard?
That's in the backyard.
Backyard. Okay. This would have been September of 22, obviously right before 20.
I think that what it seems like to me is that what Reddington is going to be, the story that Reddington is going to be telling is that this was their life up until she had postpartum, first depression, and then psychosis after her third child, and that everything changed in September of that year. She was no longer this person you see with the kids in the photos. And I think that Patrick is probably going to testify to that because he's already said it, that she changed. She was a shell of a human being. She wasn't the Lindsay I knew, all those things. And I think that's exactly right. It's the drugs that triggered this psychosis. She was already dealing with postpartum psychosis and was potentially bipolar. And the cocktail of drugs that these prescribers and medical practitioners had her on made her psychotic. So he's doing a great job showing us the before, and we're going to get into the after, and it's not going to be as pretty.
Right.
And again. So this one here, July of 22, can you tell me, jurors, you guys had a pretty good summer that year?
It was a good summer. Yeah, that was on Cape Cod.
Family, it
Was there on
says.
Cape Cod?
Yeah.
Couple of points that I wanted to raise, sir, with you.
Stay by the mic, Reddington. No, don't start walking.
I have an email sent from your, is it Surface Pro? Is that what it's called?
That was my laptop. Yeah.
I'm going to approach you, sir, and ask if you can identify this as being the email that you sent.
Yeah.
Right off of that, Your Honor.
The objection.
I'd just like to know the purpose of.
Purpose? I'll
Yes.
tell you the purpose.
No,
Get a first sidebar.
sure, yeah.
Purpose? I'll tell you the purpose. You gonna ask me the purpose? I love Kevin Reddington. I love him. Look at him. He was like, purpose? I'll tell you the purpose. And the judge was like, nope, nope, nope. Side by, side by. Oh, there goes my fan. It's popping up on my screen. That is making everything crazy. Okay. There we go. Welcome to the chat, Linderloo.
Well, while we're waiting for the copy, let me just move on to something else. Do you recall yesterday the district attorney was asking you a question or stated to you that on December 2nd of 2022, that you and your wife went to a fancy hotel in Boston and she had a massage and you
This
both
was a
had a
good
big
point.
dinner? Do you recall her asking you that question?
Yeah.
And in fact, would you agree, sir, that you did not, in fact, go to a fancy hotel on December 2nd of 22, being
Prosecutor
Saturday
was
night before
wrong.
your anniversary, the 3rd? You stayed at home, didn't you?
We did. We stayed at home.
And when you were asked that question by the DA, she wanted the inference to be that Lindsay Clancy in December of 22 was so relaxed that she wanted to have a massage and have a big dinner in a hotel. In fact, she was in her bedroom that night. wasn't she?
Objection.
Sustained. If you could rephrase that.
I'm approaching you with. what
First
appears to be
objection.
From.
Come on, Reddington.
One of the photographs that the district attorney had showed you yesterday with her in a mask. And I believe the Dawson in the mask. And then.
He just showed a picture of Dawson wearing a mask.
Actually preserved, if you will, on the Laptop Pro computer. Is that right? Did she send that to you?
She sent it to my computer.
Okay.
I don't know.
And where was she? Do you remember when that picture was taken? Let me
I
just show you.
didn't see it.
Yeah. That's what the photograph was.
It looks like they're at the doctor.
At the doctor's office. Okay. And can you tell me the date that that picture, right here in corner top, what date was that picture taken?
He's so good.
It's December 2nd.
Same date that we're talking about, correct? And what
Correct.
time was the picture sent?
12:45 p.m.
So the jury. So when you're dealing with these things on the computers, it's a little hard sometimes to understand what they're depicting, and I'm having a hard time moving. There it is. All right. Right there, you see that there? That's the date that we're talking about, right?
Right. Just to clarify, though, it looks like that was on an iPhone.
Oh, I'm sorry, iPhone. Okay, it was sent to you though.
Patrick
Correct.
is a tech
And
guy,
on
so this is
December
like,
2nd, the date
he's like, slow down,
that the DA
Grandpa.
is Suggesting you were in Boston having massages and dinner, right?
Objection. That was December 3rd.
Well,
It's the jury's memory, but
if you can answer that.
do you recall, sir, that she also had sent you the same day, or taken a picture of what appears to be Cora's Christmas list, wish list? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
And if you look at the record on that, that was sent,
What does this say? December 2nd.
December 2nd at 6:13 p.m.
6:13 p.m. And then finally, if you look at the metadata that is apparently buried in the photograph, it gives latitude and longitude of where the photograph was taken. Is that right? Are you familiar with metadata, I would imagine? Why I can't do this.
The date on the thing tells you where to put them.
Yeah, that's our address.
Tell them how to use it.
And that would be the metadata with the latitude and the longitude that shows you where these photos were taken, correct?
Correct.
Roughly these, Ron?
So I think we had Exhibit 76. They're making a copy of that. Do you want to mark that? I don't know if we marked that yet. That was the earlier one, just so everybody can keep this straight. And this latest email would be Exhibit 77.
Ray of Sunshine, some of the experts, we haven't been given all their names. It's probably in some court filings that I don't have access to right now. I do know that Zizel is going to be testifying. He was one of the first people to look at her psychologically, look at Lindsay psychologically.
Yes.
He's a defense witness.
Now, sir, Exhibit 76 is an email from you to, we will kind of delete the people that are on the email, if I may, Your Honor, as we mark it as an exhibit. Let me approach you.
This is clunky because
Does
it's
it
like,
indicate the date and the time?
because Reddington's old.
You sent that email to your staff members or team department.
It does. Yep.
Petty says, I love him until I remember he represented Jen McKay.
It's January 24th at 5:24.
He's a defense attorney. Doesn't
That
matter
was
who
sent
the
from
client
your
is, but that's my
surface
opinion.
I don't know, actually. It could have been sent from my iPhone.
That would be Exhibit 76.
Now, when was Callan born?
May 26, 2022.
My memory serves that it was a good birth. It was not easy birth, but I mean, there were no complications.
There are no complications.
And were both of you very happy with Callan being
Yeah.
born healthy? And
Yeah, we felt very lucky.
and then in that summer of 22, you had one of the best summers that you've had, right?
Yeah.
I'll be right back,
happened?
guys.
In September, October of 2022.
Lindsay's mental health started to deteriorate.
And when you say that, sir, what is it that you, as her husband, observed?
Just increased stress and anxiety.
And did she, as a result of that, go to see or reach out for help to see someone?
Yes.
And who was that?
I believe it was Jennifer Tufts.
Now, Jennifer Tufts is a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And where is she located?
I never went to her office. Somewhere on the South Shore.
Do you remember when Lindsay went to see Jennifer Tufts?
I don't remember the exact date. I think it was sometime in September. I wasn't really involved at the beginning of Jennifer Tufts.
Of course. Do you recall that the difficulties or the trouble, so to speak, began towards the end of September into October of 22?
Yeah, it was pretty gradual.
Okay. But do you remember when the DA asked you yesterday whether or not you used your computer to Google suicide in, I think it was August of 22? Do you remember her asking you that question?
Yes.
And do you remember your response?
No, honestly.
You didn't Google that, did you?
I don't think I did, no.
No. But I'm going to show you, sir, a web history of your computer. Have in mind that the question was asked of you as to whether or not in August of 22, you Googled suicide, and you responded no, right?
Correct.
The inference being, I guess, that back in August of 22, she would have Googled. You know a guy named Tim Hall?
Tim Hall,
I think you mean Tom Hall.
Tom Hall.
My apologies. Who's Tom Hall?
He's a musical artist,
He's a what artist?
like a country artist.
Country. Is he like a guitar playing guy or singer?
Yeah, was.
When you say was, what happened to him?
He committed suicide.
And I'm going to show you, sir, your Surface Pro records back in August of 22. You recall
This was a month prior to her having all of the reactions to the drugs.
Tom Hall, so you could access one of his new albums or new records.
I do remember briefly listening to Tom Hall's music.
Now, you've never seen, you haven't seen this document before, correct?
Correct.
Right, and this would be, I'm sure you're probably familiar with it.
Sorry, Ray.
Phone dump, computer records dump. You get a printout of all the sites that somebody would go on, Google, Wikipedia, things like that.
Right.
If you can look to the right.
Yep.
Down a little bit, you see, I think it says Tom Hall.
Yeah.
What does it say on Tom Hall?
It says his Wikipedia page.
Let me see here.
This is so
So
excruciating.
here,
Somebody just hit some.
we've got
Hmm. Get it
so
straight,
that
Reddington.
shows you when somebody Googles, and then it goes Wikipedia. And you see where up above it says suicide methods?
Yeah.
Now, you didn't, as you said to the DA, you didn't Google suicide methods, right?
I didn't Google suicide methods now.
But in fact, sir, when you Googled Tom Hall, it took you to the Wikipedia page and it said that he died, right?
He did, yeah.
And then you clicked on the Wikipedia page and it went into a hyperlink. You know what a hyperlink is? I imagine you
Yeah.
know hyperlink.
Yeah.
What is a hyperlink? Just so I know.
So, like in Wikipedia, it would be a word that's highlighted in blue, and it goes to a website.
Okay. So if I suggest to you, sir, that as you move down on your searches that afternoon, that you were looking at Tom Hall, that it brought you to ways to commit suicide, Tom Hall, Google search, again, Tom Hall,
Oh no. Oh no. What happened? What happened?
all on that date at the same time. And you were just looking to see about the guy because he killed himself, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So Reddington is obviously making the point that the prosecution was being very disingenuous when they were asking him if he, yesterday, or I guess Monday, whether he was Googling methods of unaliving oneself. This is actually, it's tedious, but it's important because Reddington's showing how disingenuous the prosecution is being. And I'm sorry, my voice just got a little froggy. I have like a tickle in my throat. And while I'm paused here, MSV USMC, you're very generous. You know I love you. Thanks for the tip. Very appreciative. I mean, Tracy Talk says I'm tipping in for an update. This is very, very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, back to it.
Can I just see the packet?
Like I said, tedious.
I got that discovery from the DA, so it's.
Yeah. Got it from
It's an email from his
We'll just
expert, not us.
just take a look at it and we'll kind of go from there. Hold on a second.
why would the prosecution even be arguing this? This is their discovery that Reddington is using against them. Like, you should have picked up on this instead of being like, oh, you were Googling unaliving methods. Nope. He was looking up a musician who unalived himself, and that was a hyperlink he clicked on. This is the kind of shit that really pisses me off. You can tell when people are being shady AF when they do shit like this.
Well, she's looking at that. I just asked her, what is a URL? What does that mean?
Hold on a second.
He's like,
Wait till she gets a chance to finish.
he's like, come on, this is your discovery. You should know this. I mean, maybe I'm
I
wrong.
would object.
All right, if I can
Why?
see, Counselor.
Why is she objecting? Oh, why don't we get to know? This one right here with the hair, she got to do something about her hair. I'm sorry. I really don't want to like tear people down for their looks. That's not like what I'm about. But you're in court, ma'am. Do something about your locks. You're a mess. Ugh. Christ. This is interesting. I would really love to know what the objection is, because the way I understand it, maybe I'm wrong. Someone tell that old man what a URL is. D. Cool said. The way I'm understanding it is Kevin Reddington had emails or web searches in the discovery that came from the Commonwealth. So they have access to the discovery. If they didn't have access to it, it'd be a Brady violation. So they're using the Commonwealth's discovery where they found a web search history from Patrick Clancy's Surface Pro laptop. And yesterday, the prosecution asked Monday, I should say, asked Patrick Clancy if someone in his house was searching up methods of unaliving yourself. And I don't remember what his answer was to that. I have to go back and look at it. But Kevin Reddington is saying you weren't actually Googling, or she wasn't actually Googling methods of unaliving yourself. You guys were looking up.
Well, that's being marked Exhibit E for ID. Basically, that would at least refresh your memory, sir, that in fact, inadvertently, that you touched the Wikipedia thing for suicide, but it was for Tom Hall.
Touched the Wikipedia thing.
Sounds like that was the case.
Okay.
Touched the Wikipedia.
Do you recall what medication Lindsay was put on by Dr. Tufts?
She started with Zoloft.
Now, counsel had asked you about whether or not Lindsay was on Zoloft or any SSRI antidepressant medication in the past. Do you remember that question?
Yeah.
Do you remember her asking about that you were having a conversation with her and she said that she was going on Zoloft and that she had already been to Tufts, or was it Tufts that she got the script from?
Correct.
Okay. She told you that, right?
Yeah.
She didn't hide that from you, right?
No.
And you were at a wedding. Is that right? You were walking down the street, the two of you together, like at the end of the night. She basically told you that she had to use the meds.
It was earlier in the day. It was before the wedding, but yeah.
Is there so much shame around using? I mean, I get it. I was one of those.
Do you recall?
But there shouldn't be so much shame around using medicine.
To your observation, how dedicated was she to taking her medications as instructed by the numerous doctors that she ultimately saw?
She always took them as instructed.
There we go.
Do you remember?
There we
did
go.
She in fact have a diary?
Okay, we're going to get into some. I think this is interesting, this part. I just wanted to pause it really quickly because, again, on Monday, the prosecution tried to make it seem like here is a bottle of meds. Here's Lindsay's bottle of meds. It was a 30-day supply. She only took 7 of them, which means that she must have been regulating her own medication. That is not what happened. After 7 pills, she realized there was something wrong. And so her doctors were telling her to stop taking the medicine. So she's got a bunch of old pill bottles lying around from all the different medicines that they've put her on that that didn't work for her or she had to move on from. And again, it's the prosecution using this guy to make a disingenuous argument that Lindsay Clancy was basically dealing herself. Like, oh, I'm going to get a supply over here from this doctor. I'm only going to take 7 of those. And I'm going to get a supply over here from this doctor. And I'll take 2 of those. Like, that's basically what they've been trying to sell to the jury. And they can fuck off with that, in my opinion.
That she kept of the milligrams, the type of medication, the date that she took the medication, and what, if any.
She kept a diary of her meds.
Do you recall that?
Yeah.
And do you remember where that was kept? Did she keep it in any particular place?
I think she kept it in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. So
Open
I'm
to the
going to
public?
show you a photograph that the state police took in your house. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of your kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said. Yeah.
That kind of shows a bunch of books that are in
Is
a,
this-
like a cabinet or something,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Right.
I'm going to show you this enlarged spine, if you will, of a book. I ask if you ever saw that before.
He's showing him a
I don't
book.
recall seeing this.
Would you agree, sir, that this book is in fact the same book, the same coloring that was in the bunch of books in your kitchen?
Yeah.
So she kept a diary of her meds the same way she kept a diary of her patients. That tracks. Man, Reddington's pretty good.
You see what
What's
the
this say?
caption of the book is.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Good
it says,
moms.
Good moms have scary thoughts.
Good moms have scary thoughts. Ugh.
And I'm going to approach you with this document, sir, which would be a number of pages from the book, the cover of the book, and the inside of the book. Just, you've never seen that before, though?
Don't recall seeing this.
He handed him a book, asked him if he'd seen it before. He said he doesn't recall. He's looking through the pages.
So with that understanding, Your Honor, I will not offer this.
Because he didn't recognize it.
Hold
He's
on.
not offering it as
Counsel
evidence.
Coma, if you could, Mr. Reddick, if you could show
It's not.
what it is that you.
I'm sorry, you said you're not offering it?
Oh, done with the foundation.
Okay.
He's like, dumbass,
Objection.
did you just get out of law school? I don't have a foundation. What do you want from me?
So can I put it in?
Yes, that's
Oh,
fine.
okay, great, thank you.
No objection to him not offering it.
Melissa Canwell said anyone with kids will
Well,
understand a
look at it.
medicine
Get out
diary.
there.
Why don't we do this? Why doesn't everybody come over here with that? We can kind of figure out where we go.
Friggin' sidebar. Melissa says anyone with kids will understand a medicine diary. We used to have a sheet on our fridge so we didn't overdose our child when they were sick and we were tired parents. Yeah, totally practical. All right, let me see if I can skip through a little bit here.
No objection.
Okay, that may be it.
Okay, they're going to admit the book that he couldn't get the foundation on. Okay. I love this guy.
Who was the next doctor, if you recall, that Lindsay went to consult with?
Julie Paul.
And is this a doctor or a nurse practitioner?
Nurse practitioner.
I don't remember with Julie Paul. It was very brief.
Now, is it fair to say that Julie Paul was at South Shore?
Yeah, correct.
I think that's the one his mom referred her to.
Was a friend of your mother's, is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, I think they're acquaintances. Yeah,
And your mother was a nurse also at South Shore Hospital,
in L&D. Yeah,
L&D Labor and Delivery.
Labor and delivery.
Okay. And your mother was good enough to refer Lindsay to this person to consult with, right?
yeah. I don't think it was a formal referral. I think she just said this is a specialist that you might want to talk with.
All right. And did she go to see the specialist?
Yeah.
And did you go with her, or was this a,
No, I never met
I should
Julie
back
Paul.
myself up. Were these like in-person meetings, or are they like, what do you call them, Zoom meetings? And
Most of the meetings were Zoom. The only in person that I'm aware of was with Rebecca Gelata.
Rebecca Gelata. Okay, and that was because you insisted on it, right?
Gelata.
I thought it was warranted at that time. Yeah.
Right, because you were pretty much at your wit's end with the 15-minute Zooms, and you wanted to sit down eyeball to eyeball and talk to this person, right?
I hadn't attended any prior to that. I just wanted to get clarification. I wanted to see if we could get on the same page.
All right. So now Lindsay's on Zoloft from.
Tommy Paul is always special to us. Right.
Correct.
Correct.
And then that runs into when you guys, she goes to see Nurse Paul.
Paul or
Can you
Gelata?
clarify?
What was it?
Can you clarify what you're asking?
Yeah, what month? When was it that she saw Nurse Paul?
maybe October, but I'm not sure.
When she saw Nurse Paul, do you remember where she saw Nurse Paul, or was it a video thing?
I don't know. I wasn't involved.
Okay. Did Nurse Paul prescribe medication to her?
Why? Objection,
I'll
why?
tell him if he knows.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
It's
off the
not
top of my
hearsay.
head.
All right. Do you recall whether or not, to your opinion, that she had any reactions to the Zoloft that she had been placed on by Dr. Tufts?
I
Objection.
don't know any observations that were made.
Right, so it's not guesswork, it's observations, anything you
Yeah.
saw and observed.
Yeah, it seemed to align with her insomnia symptoms.
Now, the insomnia, inability to sleep, was that a significant problem from your observations with her?
Yeah, it was a huge problem.
And when you
Huge
say
problem.
huge problem, was there one point when she was on medication from Tufts that in fact she had gone 48 hours, I think, without
Yeesh.
sleep?
Yeah.
And that was disturbing to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just hard to function.
And how about you? Was it disturbing to you?
Fuck yeah.
I just wanted her to get sleep and feel better.
Now, during that period of time, she then went and saw the next doctor, a nurse practitioner, which we talked about, which would be nurse practitioner Paul at South Shore, right?
Right.
Now, after seeing nurse practitioner Paul, if you remember, or no, did you observe, did she seem to get better or did she seem to get worse?
It would be hard to say. I think it was a week at most.
Mm.
So it's really hard to say in that
Okay.
short a time frame.
Sure. And when you say a week at most, you mean that's like she was seeing nurse practitioner Paul for about a week?
Yeah, and I mean, she may have only seen her once. It was very brief, and then she got reassigned somewhere. So,
And the reason, if you know, that she got reassigned somewhere would be nurse practitioner Gelada, right?
right,
Same practice, right?
right,
And the reason was because Paul moved on to another job, right?
right,
So Lindsay wasn't out doctor hunting. She was referred by the nurse practitioner that was referred to you guys by your mom because
your mom.
Paul was leaving, right?
yeah. She just switched doctors in the same practice.
All right. Now she sees Dr. Gelada, right?
Right.
Did Dr. Gelada, to your knowledge, put her on medication?
Yeah.
And what was the medication, if you know?
Mainly Seroquel and benzodiazepines, Ativan.
No, benzodiazepines. They're addictive, right?
Apparently,
Benzos.
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
And
off.
a benzo would be, for example, Ativan, correct?
I wish the judge could just be
Now,
like, fuck off.
Seroquel, she was placed on Seroquel as well. Is that correct?
right.
And to your observation, again, you're not a doctor, what you saw of your wife.
That's what we're
was
looking
she
at here.
affected positively or negatively by the Seroquel that she was on?
Negatively.
It appeared that she was affected very negatively, and
Very.
she's reporting that that she was getting worse on the Seroquel.
And do you know, did she report that to Dr. Gelada?
Yeah.
When she would consult with Dr. Gelada, prior to you actually going, do you know, were they all on video? If you know.
I believe, yeah, they were all on Zoom.
Okay. Do you have any opinion for the jury as to approximately how long these meetings on Zoom would be with the nurse practitioner?
Probably around 20 minutes.
At some point, do you recall that you went with Lindsay to see Dr. Gelada? Is that right?
Yes.
And do you remember, if you remember?
I just want to pause for just a second because I'm thinking about the time frame of all this. 2022. We're coming into the tail end of the pandemic. And I know that I'm not making any excuses here. I just want to preface by saying that our medical system was taxed at this point. So the idea that Lindsay was sort of being shuffled around and seeing different doctors and they're just throwing meds at her, some of that makes sense to me. I don't think it's right, but I think that it makes sense because everybody was just frantic all the time, trying to figure things out, trying to get patients in and out. And on top of that, you've got a mother who has 3 young children at home. They've been stuck in the house together, all 5 of them, for at least a year, and everyone's suffering mental health issues. Excuse me. I have like the worst tickle. It makes talking for a living difficult. So many people in this country and around the world were suffering mental health issues that were exacerbated by the isolation and the death surrounding us from the pandemic. So now you've got a new mom. She's not new mom, but she's got a new baby. She's in the throes of postpartum depression. She's being diagnosed. Well, she's actually not being diagnosed. That was part of the problem. She's being prescribed all these different meds. She's on and off of everything. She's reporting everything she's feeling. She's keeping a diary. She's telling her husband. Her husband is going with her. Some of this has to do with the fact that our system was taxed at this time. And she fell through the cracks. That doesn't make it right. And I'm not saying that they should be forgiven. They should be held accountable. But Lindsay and Patrick did everything in their power to try to fix this situation and keep it from escalating. And the medical system failed them, in my opinion. And I think it's really important that Reddington is going through all of this right now for all of us. I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. See if we can get up to 125 for a little while. Okay.
When that was?
Early December.
In early December of 2022, can you tell the jury from your observations, how did Lindsay appear? How was she acting? How was she faring?
She was extremely sleep deprived and just highly anxious.
Was there a number of occasions that you would actually see her on the sofa, rocking back and forth with her head under a pillow?
Yeah.
Did you report that and other symptoms to Dr. Gelada?
Lindsay did.
So when was it, if you recall, that you went and saw Dr. Gelada with your wife, person to person?
When was it?
Yep.
Early December. I think it was December 6th.
And do you remember?
Okay, so this
Pretty
is
good
2
memory
months
about
after
this.
she
Do you
started
remember
on new
what
meds.
medication she was prescribed by Gelada?
Coming out of that meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, she increased the Seroquel significantly. And then she prescribed her Valium to help taper off.
Jesus.
Taper off the benzos?
Yeah.
To your knowledge, did Lindsay go to doctors to seek out benzodiazepines or drugs just because she was a drug addict?
No. Lindsay, I think, wanted to. She definitely didn't want to take any more benzodiazepines, and definitely didn't want to take any more Seroquel. I think that it wasn't really a matter of trying to get off the medication; it was just trying to get on the right medication.
Okay. Let's say mid-December. What observations, if any, heading up towards Christmas, did you guys endure?
She seemed to get worse. The Seroquel was increased to 400 milligrams.
400?
Yeah.
By Dr. Gelada?
Yeah. And the idea behind that was it would help with sleep, but she didn't get better. She got worse.
Do you recall that at one point she went to a place called Women's and Infants
Yeah.
in Rhode Island?
Right.
Women and Infant Center for Women's Behavioral Health. Do you recall that?
Right.
Do you remember when she actually went to Women's Behavioral Health?
Sometime in mid-December. I don't know the exact date.
All right. So if I suggest to you, sir, that I have certified copies of the Women and Infants medical records indicating that on December 20th of 2022, that was the day that you dropped her off at Women. Does that refresh your memory?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like to offer the certified copies of the Women and Infants hospital records.
Would object, we don't have a copy of those.
All right.
You don't have them?
Could I see? Jesus Christ. Right here.
I would object. We don't have a copy of those. Yeah? Okay, so show them a copy.
2022.
Sorry.
So, Mr. Clancy, do you remember that day, December 20th of 2022, that she
Yeah.
went to that place? How did she get there?
I drove her.
And do you remember dropping her off?
Yeah.
Do you remember what her state of mind was to go there? Was she scared? Was she happy? Was she?
I think she was scared.
Do you remember what you did that day?
I took Dawson skiing.
And where did you go skiing?
What she said.
At some point in the afternoon,
Wachusett.
did you receive a phone call?
Yeah.
Was it from Lindsay?
Yeah.
And as a result of the phone call, what did you do?
She said that you need to come pick me up, and the doctors here want to talk to you. Have you come in and talk for a bit?
Okay. Did you go and talk to him?
Yeah.
Do you remember who you talked to?
I don't remember their names.
Do you remember the conversation? Did you describe or indicate what her symptoms were at that point in December 20th of 2022?
Yeah, the conversation was they didn't.
Objection. Sustained at this time.
Did the people at Women's and Infants Facility in Rhode Island prescribe any medication to your knowledge?
I don't think so.
They provide any counseling or anything?
I think they tried to, but they felt that it wasn't the right fit for Lindsay.
Do you recall that in fact it was because of the drugs, they weren't sure what pathology would be because of the drugs?
Sustained.
Do you recall whether or not the people at Women and Infants in Rhode Island reached out to Dr. Gillette?
I don't think so.
Well, if he knows.
Why?
I don't
Why?
think they did. No.
Why object?
And was it one day
What's
or
the
half a
state
day that she
scared
went to
of?
Women and Infants in Rhode Island?
It was like half a day.
Half a day. So after you pick her up and you bring her home, it's now you and the kids and Lindsay, and it's days before Christmas, right?
Yeah, and her parents were there.
Why were her parents there?
They were visiting, trying to help out, and I took Dawson to watch. So they stayed home with Cora and Kellen.
Now, during that time frame in December of 22, maybe a little bit before, maybe after Thanksgiving, did your mom and dad and Lindsay's parents come to your house and try to help out with the kids?
Yeah, I think it was separately though.
Yeah, of course it would be separate. I mean, what would they do?
Just be there, help out, play with them, get takeout, play Scrabble.
He seems so much
Lindsay's
more
mother and
relaxed
father actually stay there and sleep in the basement for?
than with
They
the
did, yeah.
prosecution.
Were you aware personally? Let me back up. You and Lindsay, as husband and wife, would in effect sleep in the same bedroom. Is that correct?
Yeah.
There was an occasion though that she said to you about you go downstairs, and then I think she ended up downstairs.
Yeah, for the purposes of her getting better sleep.
And for her purposes of getting better sleep, were you aware that on one occasion she used a gummy, a sleep aid gummy? Did you know that?
I don't recall that, but we did have them in the house. So.
Okay. Now, to your
Not
knowledge,
illegal.
was Lindsay a person that liked to smoke the weed, use the CBDs, oils, and all that stuff, or did she not imbibe?
I don't know. She didn't smoke.
So
She
you
liked
had
the
these
the
gummies in the
ganja,
house, sleep aid, right?
the grass.
I mean, some people might call them a sleep aid.
Heading into the holidays of 22, do you recall where you spent Christmas?
I think it was that.
Just to be clear, marijuana became legal in Massachusetts, and I believe, especially for medicinal purposes, I believe it was 2020 or 2021. So that would have fit in line like that. There's nothing illegal happening here. I know that what the prosecution is going for is that the weed interacted with the drugs. Now, I'll be real frank with y'all here. I take an SSRI. I also take gummies. They are fine together. They may not have been great for Lindsay, but I feel like what she needed most was to sleep. And I explained this the other day in the live. Lindsay was prescribed Remeron, and I also take Remeron. And Remeron is used for anti-anxiety and antidepressant. However, the smaller the quantity of Remeron, like, so for instance, I have 7.5 milligram pills. That's a tiny dose. If I take the whole thing, it's going to treat my symptoms of anxiety and depression, but that's not why I've been prescribed Remeron. I've been prescribed Remeron for sleep. So when you take, I have to take a third of a 7.5 milligram pill. And that third is what helps me sleep. So depending on what she was prescribed and how many milligrams, if they're upping the Seroquel, I can't remember exactly what the Seroquel does, but the Seroquel, if it, like, for instance, if they had decided to up my sertraline, which is like a knockoff Zoloft, right? Sertraline works really well for me. I've had to go through a lot of different trials and try to figure out what works best for me. Sertraline works best for me. It helps me compartmentalize. It helps me calm my brain, all that stuff. I take 75 milligrams of sertraline. If they up it to 100 milligrams, I get incredibly agitated. And I start to see the negative side effects of that one in particular drug. And that's the way it works with me. I know other people that I'm close with who take 100 and they're fine. I'm not okay. Like it's not that I have manic episodes or anything like that happens, but I get agitated. I get like my road rage kicks up, like that kind of thing. So I stay at 75 and I take a third or a half of the Remeron, and the Remeron helps me sleep. It's not there to help necessarily my anxiety or depression because that's not the right dosage. So I hope that makes sense. But if Gelada is upping her dose, we've got Jack Jones in the chat saying 400 milligrams of Seroquel is the base dose to treat mania, which I suspect is what the clinician was after. I would agree with you. But if it's interacting with the other drugs in a bad way, or a lower dose of a certain drug can be used to treat something else, then, she was overprescribed. Let's be honest. She was overprescribed. There wasn't enough titration. And she is a chemical mess at this point in time. Over the course of like 4 months, 5 months. So starting in September is when she started having these bad, side effects. And then in January is when she unalived her children. And over the course of from October through January, I believe she was on 13 different meds. Most meds take like 2 weeks before you even start to feel the effects of it, or, major changes with your body and mind. So the idea that between October and January, she was on 13 different meds, that's not enough time for your body to get out of one and into another, or to see if the effects are actually working. But if they're acting in a negative way, then the doctors have to figure that dosage out, and they have to figure out what to do with you in that case. Sometimes going cold turkey is a really bad thing, especially if you've been on something for a little bit. So she needed better care and she wasn't getting it. That's literally the bottom line. Lid 1787, thank you so much for the jewels, the 550. Stay hydrated, you as well. And DB, thank you so much for the $50 tip. That's really appreciated. Amazing. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for the tips. If you would like to tip, I hate asking for money, but we do work hard here. And so I'm going to go ahead and grift for a second. There's a QR code at the top of the page. There's the Venmo. There's the Cash App. There's the PayPal. YouTube doesn't take a percentage from our tips. They only take a percentage from our super chats and memberships. So if you feel inclined or you are able to send a tip, we greatly, greatly appreciate your asses. Okay, back to it.
Our house, we celebrated Cora's birthday. And I think we actually went down to Wallingford, Connecticut to be with her parents after.
Her parents?
Yeah.
Okay. And then heading into January of 23, who did she then see for doctors or nurse practitioners, if you know?
After she got back from McLean?
Yes.
She switched back to Jennifer Tufts.
Now, before she switches back to Tufts in January, on New Year's of 2022, 2023, you guys drive to Boston, go to MGH, and ultimately she turns herself into McLean Hospital, right?
Right.
Now, McLean Hospital is basically a locked ward facility, correct?
Correct.
Was she allowed to just wander around and leave the place whenever she wanted?
She couldn't leave, but inside she could go to different areas.
Can you tell the jury what her state of mind was as she went to McLean Hospital with her husband on New Year's 23 at that point?
She was scared. She didn't want to go. But I think it was the second time we went to the ER, and I said, you have to go.
Now at McLean Hospital, I know you visited with her, is that correct?
Yeah.
District Attorney asked you yesterday about the excellent care that she was provided with all these counselors and therapists, and you indicated that it was your understanding that she was playing with clay and coloring, right?
Right.
Can you describe to the jury what McLean was like to you as a husband visiting his wife In other words, were there doctors, were there nurses, were there people in the hallways?
What I saw was it looked like mainly nurses. It was the tail end of COVID, so they're mostly behind this plastic covered area. And it could have been just the time of day that I visited, but people were hanging around, watching TV, playing with clay.
Do you know whether or not she saw a doctor, a psychiatrist, ultimately from McLean Hospital?
I was not aware of that. The only one I was aware of was the doctor on the second to last or final day.
Mm.
And what was that, Dr. Goodhart?
Yeah.
And did you speak to Dr. Goodhart?
I ended up calling her.
Let's call
I
Good job,
wanted to see
Patrick.
what her evaluation was. So I gave her a call and we spoke, and she said, you know, she's clearly depressed.
Sustained.
Okay.
Hearsay.
So you spoke to Dr. Goodhart.
Yep.
Did Dr. Goodhart, to your knowledge, prescribe any medication?
I think she recommended medication, and then
How many medications did she recommend?
I don't know if she recommended multiple. I want to say it was Cymbalta, but she said, you know,
Cymbalta.
check with your doctor and make a decision.
So when Lindsay left, it was because she wanted to leave one day early because of Cora's birthday. Is that right?
I didn't think it was. I don't think it was one day early. I think she had a 5-day stay, which at the time was my understanding was that was pretty standard.
Oh,
And
well, that's
yeah, she did
interesting,
want to attend
isn't it?
Cora's birthday.
So
The reason why I say that's interesting is because the prosecution, again, disingenuous argument, like they like to do, is saying that Lindsay bounced out of her treatment program a day early because she thought she was all better. Patrick's saying something else.
there's no doubt, sir, in your mind that when she was discharged from McLean, that you got these, right? McLean?
Yes.
Yeah. That when she was discharged from McLean Hospital, it was not against medical advice. The doctors gave her bill of health and let her go with you, right?
Right.
And offer the McLean records.
Any objection?
No.
All right, they may be admitted.
I have to say, Patrick seems so much more at
Now, you know when you go to the
ease
hospital,
with
you get out of
Reddington.
the hospital, they give you a bag and you've got medications and a little card and says, thank you for being here, stuff like that. Did you guys get anything from McLean at all?
I don't think so.
Did you get any recommendations other than the doctor suggesting that you might want to try Cymbalta? They give you a script?
Jeez.
I don't think so.
You know what Cymbalta was?
No.
You remember Dr. Goodhart telling Lindsay to Google it?
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
wow.
fact, she Googled it hundreds
Wow.
of times.
Yeah.
Medication, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
So when you guys go home, and now it's January, obviously, you had the party for Cora, correct?
Yeah.
You guys had friends over, or friends that you guys knew?
Friends came to the party, which was at a place in Plymouth.
Would you agree with me that Lindsay had a number of friends from actually grammar school through high school through college that she stayed in touch with over the years?
Yeah.
And you as well?
Yep.
And they're good friends. Like you still would see them and you guys would do dinner and things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Actually, one of your friends, I think it was one of your friends, it might have been one of her friends, actually named her in January or around that time frame to be godmother, I would take care of their
Whoa.
child if anything bad happened to them and they were dead, right? Remember that?
My brain has been foggy for the last couple of years, but
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for becoming a new member,
In
Keenan.
January,
Appreciate you. See you
as
tonight,
time went
hopefully.
by, do you recall that she would actually continue to take notes of her medications that she was taking, right?
that sounds like something Lindsay would do.
Kept a diary or a little log, right?
Yep.
I'm approaching you, sir, with this and asking if you can identify this.
Yes.
And when you say yes, and I'll put it on the little screen, what is it?
What is it?
It's the
It's her.
dosage of medication that
There
she
it
took
is.
and how she's feeling.
So this is
Let's take a look at this. 12-8. 5 milligrams Valium. 75 milligrams Seroquel. Slept well, 9 to 5. Few wake ups, feeling very depressed and intrusive thoughts today. 12-9. 5 milligrams Valium. 10 milligrams Seroquel. Or 100 milligrams, sorry. 100 milligrams Seroquel. Slept well. Horrible, intense thoughts. This is a month before. 12-10. 25 milligrams of Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts in the morning or AM. 12-11. 25 milligrams. It might be 2.5. I think it's 2.5. 2.5 milligrams Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts. 12-12. 2.5 Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts, and no motivation. 12-13. 2.5 Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts, no motivation, deeply depressed. This woman was, I've never done this before. I'll be honest with y'all. Yeah, I meant 2.5. Lady Harlot's like 25. Let's have a good time. I've never kept a diary of the way I felt on my meds or anything like that. This woman was a nurse. You saw her records keeping track of the children who are in her care, the babies born in her care. Now you're seeing her keeping a record of her own mental health, and she, again, doing all the right things,
Kind of like a little medical diary that she was keeping.
Yeah.
For example, here you see on that 5 milligrams Valium, 200 Seroquel, slept well, horrible thoughts in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And did she at some point, I think the DA had asked you, I'm going to offer this, Your Honor, if I may.
Any objection?
No.
That may be admitted.
2.5. Sorry, I'm still laughing about the 25 milligrams of Valium. That's a lot.
There was an occasion where she told you in the presence of her mother that she was having horrible thoughts, right?
Right.
And you told us about that yesterday. And it was quite an emotional thing for her to do that, right?
Right.
After that time frame, you continued on. You were working in the basement, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say basement. It was a finished place, right?
Finished basement, yeah.
And that was where you worked on a regular basis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would that be a 40-hour week or longer?
It varied, but yeah, roughly 40 hours.
And I know it was maybe COVID, tail end of COVID, but one of the other reasons that you did that was so you could be home and help out. Is that right?
Yeah, I worked from home since 2018.
Okay.
But yeah, I built an office down there.
So you were always there?
Yeah.
Not always, but you were down there when you would work?
When I wasn't traveling, yeah, I was there.
Okay. So when would you travel? Tell us about that.
I really didn't travel actually much during COVID, just towards the end and once in November.
November of what year?
2022.
Bug. Light.
November of 2022.
But before that, I traveled extensively.
Let's look at November of 2022. November of 2022 was a month before she was telling you and her mother that she was having thoughts about hurting the children, right?
Right.
It's November of 2022, and you traveled. Where did you travel to?
New York.
And how long were you there, sir?
2 nights.
And
So I just want to, I don't know if you could hear Reddington. He just stepped away from the mic, but he said, you traveled in November. That was a month or so before. Wait, let me back it up and just make sure I got what he said right. Hold on.
Lindsay.
Sorry. And 2022 was a month before.
But before that, I traveled extensively.
Let's look at November of 2022. November of 2022 was a month before she was telling you and her mother that she was having thoughts about hurting the children, right?
A month before she
November of
was having thoughts
2022,
about hurting the
You
children,
traveled. Where did you travel to?
New York.
and
How
she
long were
told
you there,
them.
2 nights.
Bug.
And who took care of the kids?
Lindsay.
Sorry?
Lindsay took care of the kids.
So for 2 days, 2 nights, a month and a week or so before she killed the children, she was home with the kids for 2 days. Is that right?
Right.
Fair to say that you also had your friends that you would do brunch with on occasion, Sundays or weeknights or whenever, guys night type thing?
Yep.
And you'd be out with your friends. If she wanted to kill the kids, she certainly could have done it that time when you're out, right?
Great point, Kevin Reddington.
As opposed to sending you on a 3-minute trip to CVS and a 9-minute trip to a restaurant. You were away for 2 days in November and on a number of occasions for brunch as well as skiing, right? You're a pretty active guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I'm going to approach you, sir, and another one of the books that was in the kitchen cabinet, I believe. You remember?
That was a really good point. Really good point.
I don't think so.
But is it fair to say, sir, that she had a number of books, about parenting and things like that? This one here was pregnancy and postpartum anxiety workbook. Did she have workbooks that you were aware of, or work diagrams and things like that?
She had books of different sorts.
So you can't identify this as being in the kitchen, right?
I don't recall seeing that book. No.
That might
Yeah.
have anxiety.
Sure.
What? What's the prosecutor saying? What's she saying?
Thank you. By the way,
Oh, Lindsay.
I'm going to approach you, sir, with this document. Excuse me, and ask if you can identify it.
It says postpartum depression and anxiety patient information sheet.
And if you go towards the end there, does it appear to be her writing in it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to skip past camera angle on her for a while. I feel like Kevin Reddington has been doing this for a million years. He just knows his way. He's just so comfortable in the courtroom.
Item, it's got a bunch of flowers on the front. Appears to be a notebook. Is it your understanding that the state police went in your house and they seized all sorts of items such as this?
Yep.
So we don't have originals that the police do. But these
Right.
are copies. Fair and accurate?
Yeah.
Is that the caption that you were referring to?
Mm.
Yes.
Postpartum depression and anxiety.
Yes.
And at the end of this particular document, you would agree, sir, that it has writing?
Yeah.
And whose writing is that?
Lindsay's.
Mood chart,
Um,
daily
it's
mood
like a
chart.
book or notes that she would take, documenting on a daily basis any effect that she had from postpartum?
It appears to be the case.
Yeah. Your Honor, I would offer the records of Dr. Jennifer Tufts, Aston Mental Health Records.
No
Oh,
objection.
all right, that may be, they may be admitted.
I'm going to have to, I think, maybe talk to the DA about this because I do have a lot of tabs and notes in this one. I know we have clean copies, right?
We have a clean copy we're planning to admit,
All right,
so that's
good,
no problem.
okay.
So we'll enter that and then
Good.
we can then substitute it with a clean copy.
Thank you.
He literally has
See the exhibit for that?
a legal box, like the old cardboard legal boxes that you like fold open and they have the lids. I've always
What I
used them to
identified
like
yesterday was the-
move. He's got all the case files in it. I
You obtained
friggin'
from
love it.
CVS, is that correct?
Yes.
This
Oh
is
God,
what all of the
CPS again.
medications that were purchased by Lindsay, by prescription from the physicians that she.
Oh
had seen
wow.
during that period of time.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow. Let's take a look at this for a second. Wow. Oh my God. Look at this. I'm going to go through the dates and what was prescribed. Date filed. These are not in order. And I can't put them in order by looking at them. So I'm just going to read down the list. Date filled 1/16/2023, amitriptyline, 10 milligrams. 10/26/2022, bucipirone, I don't know how to pronounce it, 5 milligrams. The same one prescribed less than a month later, 5 milligrams. Clonazepam, 11/25/2022, 0.5 milligrams. Diazepam, 12/13/2022. Diazepam, 12/19. Diazepam, 1/16. Diazepam, 12/06. Diazepam, 12/07. Diazepam, 12/09. Diazepam, 1/09. Fluoxetine, 11/21. Fluzone quad syringe, 10/19. I have no idea what that is. Hydroxyzine, 10/26. Okay, that drug right there, hydroxyzine. I have been prescribed that before. It literally, my first psychiatrist that prescribed me meds prescribed me sertraline as well as hydroxyzine to sleep. The sertraline worked great. The hydroxyzine made me a shell of a human being. And I took one pill, a 25 milligram tablet, the same that she was prescribed here. And it knocked me out, not asleep, but knocked me out as a human being for almost 2 days. Just one of those pills. I immediately called my psychiatrist and was like, I can't function as a human being. She was like, stop taking it. Done. Scares me. Lamorticine, 12/16. Lorazepam, 12/21. Lorazepam, 11/02. Lorazepam, 10/26. Lorazepam, 105. Those 1, 2, 3, 4 different lorazepam, Dr. Tufts and then Dr. Goodhart prescribed. Mirtazapine, that's the Remeron. Julie Paul, 1125. Moderna, that's COVID. Quiatapine. And then Gelada prescribes her quiatapine from 1130, 1207, 1219, 1222, 1221. Wow. I mean, these just look like one pill at a time. So it seems overwhelming. I'm not really sure how many. Okay, so the quantity, the amitriptyline at the very top, which was 116, that was probably that was the last drug she was prescribed, was a quantity of 30. And some of them, she like the diazepam 7, diazepam 14, 3, 1, 2, 8, 56. I mean, Jesus. Good God. Okay, back to it.
You indicated yesterday that the police had seized a number of pill bottles, and then you also had a number of pill bottles. Is that right?
Right.
And the pill bottles that you had, do you recall, what are the circumstances that you had them in a bag in your car?
The reason I had them in a bag is because sometimes a provider would adjust medications. So, for example, I do remember Lindsay had a prescription of Ativan, and then a few days later, they wanted to increase the dosage because it wasn't effective. So what they would do is they would say, give that old prescription to your husband, he'll discard it, and then continue taking from the new prescription.
Give it to your husband, he'll discard it?
That there were scripts and there were pills,
What?
30 count, but then there's 27 and 3 were gone. That's because she wasn't taking her medication. That's not the case. It's what you were told to do, right?
Correct. Yeah. Without that context, it paints a different picture.
Exhibit 2 would be the pills that you had turned in, I believe. Is that correct? In your bag, in your car?
Right.
I know you can't talk about it.
I remember it's Exhibit 2, though.
Okay.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit here.
Wednesday, January 24th, on the 26th, at about that you turned these items into the police.
I believe it was after the event. It was in my truck still, and I gave them to him.
Okay. So the police already went in with a search warrant. They already seized all the drugs that they could find in the house, in the kitchen, in the bedroom. Were there drugs in the kitchen, by the way?
Yeah.
They're all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And they seized them, right?
Yeah.
And then you, to be cooperative, told the police that you also had pills in your car, and you went to the DA's office and gave them to Attorney Sprague and the state police, right?
Right. But to be clear, those were discontinued prescriptions.
These are the ones like that she stopped.
Correct.
All right. And then you had new prescriptions, so there were new prescriptions that were prescribed to her, right?
Yes.
Now, when I met with you in the house, long after the state police had gone and finished their search,
Yep.
you recall that we went up to the bedroom and I removed this from the nightstand right next to the bed.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that is? What is this? Is it a drawer? Obviously.
That's the drawer that goes into the nightstand.
And inside the drawer, sir, do you recall that there were a number of items that I see tragically Lindsay Clancy prescribed on January 5.
Let's get
16th of January.
Right.
You observed that, right? This is the Apple Watch that apparently the police used to go up the stairs, downstairs, heart rate, things of that nature, right?
Yep.
They never even seized it, did they? They left it in the drawer, right?
Apparently.
So, what is this
Just
item, sir?
throwing shit around.
It's a face mask for sleeping.
To sleep?
Yep.
Now, you had mentioned something, I think, about pillow spray. What is it?
She bought some pillow spray. It apparently helps you sleep.
And did you see her using that on a regular basis?
Jackie Jones. There were a couple of doctors who were recommending a diagnosis of bipolar. I don't know if they ever got to that point. I'm sure we're going to find out through testimony. But some of the drugs that they were prescribing her really, if she had bipolar and she had postpartum depression and or psychosis, all those drugs did not interact. They shouldn't have given certain medicines to someone who might have been bipolar. That's the way I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
I would offer.
Don't forget the watch. Don't forget the watch.
Yeah.
Kevin, you
I
left
think there's
the
there's a
watch.
on the side there.
All right, no objection.
Apple Watch, sir. How many Apple Watches did she have? If you
Just
know?
one.
Just one. It's the only one she had. Police never seized it, right?
Correct.
and the drugs that were in the drawer, the empty drugs in the pill bottles from January, December, 22, 23. The police never seized it, did they?
No.
Interesting.
Right up, sir. It's like a little green vase. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
Can you tell the jury what it is?
Objection. You go to side.
Yeah, can I see counsel sidebar, please?
Why? Why? What is it? It's a little green vase. What's the problem? Sidebars, these fucking sidebars. They gotta do shit in open court. I mean, I understand they don't want to get rid of the jury. That's why they do this, but we should at least be able to hear the reason for the objection. I hate that they do that. They don't tell us the reason for the objection. Let's see if we can get through this sidebar real quick.
I'm aware of.
Oh,
To your knowledge, sir, was she advised by nurse practitioner
what happened with the vase?
to keep a
Is it still there?
dump diary of all of her thoughts and write them down so that she had something that she could refer to?
Not
Yes.
that I'm aware of.
You ever see her writing notes in the diary, like thing dates on it, November 23rd, for example, things of that nature?
I knew she kept notes, but I didn't see her doing it.
Show you this document.
Where'd the vase go? Hold on.
Back.
Did we miss it? I got to figure out where the vase is. It's going to make me crazy.
To your knowledge, sir, was she advised by?
Where the fuck did the vase go?
Show you this document. I don't ask, that appears to be her handwriting.
Yeah.
And does that contain indication as to her state of mind, particular date or dates thereafter?
He's so
Yeah.
good.
Take a look at the other page. Make sure it's all right.
Yeah.
You want to write it this?
Connell?
Please.
And I got it from the state police, so it's assume you guys have it.
It's in your discovery.
No objection.
Okay, that may be admitted.
I'm going to show you another document, sir. It appears to be a document. Do you recognize her handwriting? That document, the dates, September 29th, September 22.
Yes.
And does that appear to, can you tell us what that appears to be, sir, if you know?
Looks like a schedule for Callan.
And the schedule for Callan, that would be, what, like when he's eating or sleeping or something like that?
Yeah, naps. Yeah.
So for example, where it says September 29th, there it is, 22,
Aw.
then it makes reference to Callan, last fed with a time frame, and then there's a bunch of pages like that that go forward on those dates. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Put him down for a nap, 9:35 with a smiley face, things like that, right?
Right.
Is it
And see-
typical for Lindsay that she would document these things as a
What's so interesting to me is that the prosecution is using these like cute, sweet notes, like with a smiley face. Please put him down. Hey, there's clean clothes in the dryer if you want to run it, whatever. The state is trying to be like, she scheduled everybody's days to the minute. They had to like schedule sleep to the minute, like she was some controlling hag, when she was just being a good fucking mom and trying to like keep a rein on her mental health. This is so insane to me, the way that they've sold this case. I hate it.
new mother?
Yeah.
Was she being controlling in your opinion of her child and of you by doing this schedule?
Kevin
No, I found it
Reddington and
helpful.
I, we're on the same page.
Any objection?
No
All
objection.
right, that may be admitted.
Patrick just said that what she was
One of the
doing,
things,
what
sir,
Lindsay
that,
was
the
doing,
district attorney had asked you about
he found it helpful.
is the exhibits of the, I think it was the window in the bedroom. You said it was 20 feet drop to the ground. Is
Eesh, here we go.
that right? This is a photograph of the same one you already did, but I still wrote it. So this is the photograph of the house. You can identify that, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
God.
living room window.
Okay. And the window that you're talking about, that's 20 feet up, would be on the very top of that picture, correct?
Correct.
Um, Now, when you identified this picture, I can't see. You see that there's some kind of an orange ball, appears to be an orange ball underneath the sill?
Yeah.
To the left? And it appears to be red marks or red spots, like possibly blood above it.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Tell jurors what that little orange ball is?
Yeah, we had a woodpecker who would peck at the house and create holes. That's why I paired some of the other sections too. And I took some foam and filled the hole.
That was strange. Why, that was a strange way to ask that question. Oh, nothing further.
Be admitted.
And then also, if I may, just the top picture, I believe is also where it looks like fingerprints or blood on the edge of the window on the second floor. You see that? That's from the house?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's okay. I'm talking about the Hornet thing right here.
The Hornet thing.
This is, I see on this top here. Okay, so you see on the top of this window here.
The Hornet thing.
Underneath the Hornet thing.
What the hell is a Hornet thing? What's a Hornet thing?
Yep. I
That's
see
the
it.
first floor window that's directly underneath the second floor window, right?
Right.
Any objection? They may be admitted.
He's covering his ass. Making sure the prosecution can't be like, hey, there's blood on the window. Do you see it? I thought he said he had nothing further.
I'm all set. Thank you, sir.
Commonwealth, redirect.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Oh, Jesus. God almighty. These
Mr. Clancy,
hags.
You were shown an email, and it's been marked as an exhibit that you sent to coworkers on January 24th, 2023 at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
And you were asked about it coming from the Surface Pro, but your testimony was that it could have come from your iPhone, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you watched footage earlier of yourself going into the CVS in Kingston at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And you had your phone with you, correct, because you used it? And we also saw you on the 3V footage using your phone as well, correct?
Right.
So you were clearly out of the house at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Sorry, what time did you say I was at CVS?
So you walked in at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And you left the house. As you were leaving the house, Lindsay sent you the text about PDLX, correct?
I don't know if I had left the house yet, but yeah.
But that was sent at 5:15 p.m., correct?
Right.
And how far away is the Kingston CVS?
3 minutes.
Okay. And so you leave the house, you get into your car, and you drive to CVS, correct?
Correct.
And so that should have taken 3 minutes, correct?
Yep.
So after the text that was sent at 5:15 p.m., that would have been sometime around 5:18 or 5:20 p.m. that you should have arrived at CVS, correct?
Right.
But you don't go in until 5:32 p.m., correct?
I don't know.
We could
I
pull
don't know
up-
what time I pulled in the parking lot.
I'm asking what time you pulled into the parking lot, but is it fair to say that the video that you were shown earlier shows you entering the store at 5:32 p.m.?
Yes.
So from the time you should have been at the parking lot of CVS
What is she
around
trying to
5:20
do?
PM until 5:32 p.m., could you have been in your car sending this email on your iPhone?
Yeah, I just don't know if I pulled into the parking lot at 5:20.
But sometime after the text was sent from Lindsay about PDLX, but before 5:32 p.m., you were in your car.
Correct. Yes.
Now, you
What?
were asked about my questions to you about going to Boston.
Hold on, guys. I got to back it up. I don't know what email she's talking about. Hold on. I got to hear what she said again.
Mr. Clancy, you were shown an email, and it's been marked as an exhibit that you sent to coworkers on January 24th, 2023 at 5:24 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
And you were asked about it coming from the Surface Pro, but your testimony was that it could have come from your iPhone, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you watched footage earlier of yourself going into the CVS in Kingston at 5:32 p.m., correct?
Correct.
And you had your phone with you, correct, because you used it? And we also saw you on the 3V
Okay.
footage using
What email is she talking about that he sent to his coworkers? I missed it. Do you guys know what email she's talking about? I'll have to find it.
CVS, correct?
Oh.
Is it fair to say that the video that you were shown earlier shows you entering the store at 5:32 p.m.?
Yeah. I just
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Now, you were asked about my questions to you about going to Boston, and my questions to you were about December 3rd, not December 2nd, correct?
Correct.
Because your anniversary is December 3rd, not December 2nd, correct?
Right.
So Dawson was taken to the doctors on December 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And on December 3rd, did you have plans? Not that they were followed through, but did you have plans to go to Boston that day?
Yeah, so I can provide some clarification on that.
Sure.
So yeah, on Monday I was a little bit confused by it.
She's trying to correct her earlier questioning from Monday because she tried to impeach him, not impeach him, but refresh his recollection by showing him photos that she was saying, isn't this you guys out celebrating? And he's like, no, we didn't go out. So she's trying to correct that right now because she fucked up.
Because we were home. But yeah, I think there was a plan prior to that, like an anniversary plan to go to Boston, but it was canceled.
Okay.
And the
great.
picture you showed was from September.
So
Yeah.
the plans that you had to go to Boston, showing you here some text messages between yourself and Lindsay, and here, there's one here that says the spa of the Omni is booked, but you're on the wait list. As a backup, I have you booked for massage at the nearby IHG for 90
Good husband.
45. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then you later say we can get lunch and then head over. She responds, okay. And then you write that they'll let you use the gym and the pool while she's getting her massage. Is that correct?
Right.
And then you talk about plans for lunch and dinner. And so there were the plans, they just fell through, right?
Yeah, we canceled them. Yeah.
So it's not as if I made that up out of thin air. That's here in the text messages, correct?
You did make
Right,
it up
yeah,
out of thin
It
air.
was just confusing because we were home, but
You made that up out of thin air because you showed him a picture trying to make him think that they had gone out. I don't know what you were trying to do, but you must have been confused. You didn't just make it up. I don't know what you were doing, prosecutor lady. Like, honestly, you were like, oh, you didn't go out on your anniversary? And he was emphatic when he said no. And then you show him a picture like, oh, isn't this you going out? And it was a picture taken months earlier. So what the fuck were you doing? I understand you have to correct the record now, but don't be a dick about it.
but yeah, when I left, I recollected that, and then I found the picture, and the picture was from September.
And was that from the wedding you went to?
Yeah.
If we could have the text messages marked as specific.
Any objection? That may be admitted.
87. Now, in cross-examination, you said that Lindsay always took the medications exactly as instructed. But in direct, you said you weren't always with her every time she took the pills. Is that correct?
That's correct, but the understanding was that she took it as directed.
Because she told you she did?
Yeah.
And because you trusted her to do so?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can't sit here and say definitively that she took every pill exactly as instructed every single time because you didn't watch her every time, correct?
I was not standing next to her every time she took pills.
And you were asked
She had a
about
pretty
the
diary
Facebook
of them,
search in
though.
August 23rd, 2022. And you were asked about being on the Surface Pro and looking up the country singer who had killed himself. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So I think that what you said when you were asked by defense counsel about whether or not you accidentally went to this site on methods of suicide, you said that could be likely, that might have happened. You're not sure, correct?
It's so subtle that I don't remember specifically, but I do remember listening to Tom T. Hall.
How often did you listen to him?
It was like for a week.
Okay. And so were you aware that on 8/23, August 23rd, 2022, at 9:40 a.m., someone signed into Lindsay's Facebook account on the Surface Pro?
No.
And then at 9:43 p.m. is when the Tom Hall site was accessed. Do you recall that?
No.
And at 9:45 a.m. is when a person not just hit a link by accident, but actually had to click on a link to go to suicide methods. Are you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Is there any reason why you would have been going in and logging on to Lindsay's Facebook account while going on Wikipedia and looking at suicide methods all in that same 5 minutes?
I didn't log into Lindsay's Facebook ever. It's very possible that I looked at Tom Hall's Wikipedia page, but
At some point?
yeah.
Do you remember spending 3 minutes on the methods of suicide site, scrolling through and reading the methods of suicide site for 3 minutes?
No, I don't remember something I did for 3 minutes almost 4 years ago.
Do you remember being on that site, this methods of suicide, and clicking on a link to a bridge in Australia that people use to commit suicide?
Yeah.
No. So in this 5 minutes or so where someone's using the Surface Pro, using Lindsay's Facebook while doing that, and then clicking on these links you don't remember, you think it might have been you?
Was her
no
Facebook
idea.
open on the Surface Pro?
Now, you talked about Lindsay's stay at McLean Hospital. You said that it was a locked ward, she had to stay there. Is that correct?
Correct.
But it was a voluntary commitment, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You didn't file any legal paperwork to have her committed, correct?
correct.
There was no court order making her stay there, correct?
Correct.
So if she wanted to leave and expressed to the doctors that she wanted to leave, and they didn't believe she was a danger to herself or others, she could leave, correct?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay. Now, you stated on direct examination that you visited her 2 times during the time that she was there at McLean, right?
At least twice, yeah.
And you said those were in the evening hours, is that correct?
Yeah, afternoon, evening.
Afternoon and evening. So you weren't there during the morning and early afternoon hours when they were offering these group therapies and when she was meeting with other practitioners?
I wasn't there in the morning.
And were you there during the when the staff was checking on her every 15 minutes?
No, but she did tell me about that.
Okay. And were you aware that she was evaluated several times and at first she had to stay on the unit, but then eventually based on what she was telling them, she was allowed to go on the grounds with staff?
I was aware that she went on at least one walk.
And so people were seeing her and interacting with her and changing the way her stay went at McLean Hospital throughout her stay.
Yeah.
And you talked about Dr. Goodhart recommending medications. What was the medication that you said that she recommended?
I thought it was Cymbalta, but I think she ended up taking amitriptyline.
Amitriptyline.
So looking here at the CVS records that you provided.
Again.
We see, I'm sorry.
So she's just trying to impeach him now, which is interesting because it's her own witness.
Here we go. Aaliyah Goodhart.
She's basically trying to make it seem like to the jury that he doesn't remember everything, and they're, you know, she's trying to impeach her own witness, it feels like to me. Go on with your bad self, sister, because it's not working.
Second from the bottom.
Yep.
Trazodone, 50 milligrams. So you thought that Dr. Goodhart had just recommended medication when there was actually a prescription that was given by Dr. Goodhart, correct?
Right, but I believe, so there's another one as well, lorazepam.
Yeah,
I
there
believe
is.
those were prescribed while she was staying there.
Yes.
And so they were filled at CVS and sent to McLean?
Possibly. I remember there was an issue where she didn't have her medications when she went to McLean, so she needed them to be brought there.
Huh.
She was discharged on January 5th, correct?
Right.
Are you
Not
aware
gonna
that this
follow up
document
with that
from
one?
CVS says that the prescription for Trazodone 50 milligrams prescribed by Dr. Aaliyah Goodhart was filled on January 5th, 2023?
Right.
Okay. And then the other prescription by Dr. Goodhart, the lorazepam, was also 1 milligram lorazepam was also filled on January 5th, 2023, correct?
Yeah.
So that's when she was discharged, not while she was staying there, correct?
Right, that's correct.
So Dr. Goodhart did in fact prescribe medication for Lindsay, Trazodone and Ativan, and not Cymbalta, correct?
She recommended Cymbalta, but she wasn't the one who prescribed that
And in fact, no one prescribed that, correct?
because they ended up switching to amitriptyline.
And the amitriptyline was prescribed by Dr. Jennifer Tuss, correct?
Right.
Yes.
And and Dr. Tuss prescribed 5 milligrams of diazepam on January 9th, 2023, correct?
Right.
And amitriptyline on January 16th. It was 10 milligrams of amitriptyline. And that was prescribed when Lindsay said she was having some issues with depression, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So she went to McLean Hospital and she was weaned off the Seroquel, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
And all the medications that she had taken prior to going to McLean, she was no longer on. Those were gone, correct? Once she'd been in McLean.
I don't know if it was, I'm not sure. I don't know if it was all of them.
Well, did you have conversations with your wife about what she was taking? I mean,
Yes.
Were you aware that she was only on only prescribed Trazodone and Ativan when she left McLean, and then amitriptyline was only added on the 16th? So just those 3 medications?
Yeah, but I thought she was taking Trazodone before McLean.
Right. So she had been prescribed it before and stopped taking it, correct?
I don't remember. I'd have to look back on records.
So you're not sure about what she was taking and when, are you?
Not the exact dates,
Ooh.
but I remember she was taking Trazodone, and
She's trying to
I thought she was
impeach
taking
him.
before.
It's her own witness.
So
How
the best
sad.
resource of what she was prescribed and when would most likely be the doctors and the CVS records then, correct?
CVS records is a good resource.
And you talked about the pills and how these were pills that she was no longer on. So it wasn't really a good representation of what she had taken, correct?
Correct.
But she was only prescribed Zoloft once, right? At the very beginning?
Right.
And she only took 7 of those pills, correct?
Right.
So it wasn't as if she was prescribed a higher dose or a different dose of Zoloft and was still taking that. And so that 7 pills misrepresents the Zoloft she took, right?
I believe she switched because, or she stopped because she was switched to Prozac.
Okay. And then even going forward, the Prozac, there weren't many pills taken out of that either, correct?
Yeah, eventually she stopped that as well.
Okay. So she'd take a few pills, she'd have some side effects, they'd switch the medication, correct?
Yes.
And so they were
Right.
trying to figure
Yep.
out what would work for her, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then she ends up at McLean because she's having difficulties, according to her, with the Seroquel, correct?
That was part of it, yeah.
And they wean her off of that, right?
Yep.
And then after McLean, she's only on the Trazodone, the Ativan, and then on the 16th, adding in the amitriptyline, correct?
Right.
She's only on
You
3
mentioned
different, like,
that you went to New York in
anti-anxiety,
November of 2022. Defense counsel said
antipsychotic.
that's a month before the children were killed, but that's actually 2 months before they were killed, correct?
It was, yeah, it was about a little more than 2 months.
And she hadn't been on the Seroquel yet, right?
I don't know exactly when she started Seroquel.
Would December sound right?
Yeah, or end of November. Yeah.
And so when you took your trip to New York, she was having some issues, but she was doing okay, wasn't she?
She was doing much better than she was in December.
Okay. And did you also take another trip with Cora in November?
Yeah, so I did the trip to New York, and as soon as I got back, went to bed, and then the next morning left with Cora.
And was that November 4th through the 7th to San Francisco?
Yeah.
And who was taking care of Dawson and Callan while you were in San Francisco with Cora?
Lindsay.
And so during your trip to New York, and then immediately after your trip to San Francisco with Cora, were there any issues or any problems, or did anything happen while Lindsay was caring for those kids?
Nothing bad happened. She was, I would say her anxiety and depression was starting to pick up, but yeah, obviously nothing bad happened.
Okay. And it's your testimony that things started to get worse in December. Is that correct?
Correct.
But it was also your testimony that after the stay at McLean, things got better, wasn't it? And she steadily progressed throughout January, getting better, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And on January 24th, 2023, you testified that that was one of her best days.
Yeah.
You were asked about the Apple Watch. The police didn't collect the Apple Watch, right? They did collect her phone, correct? You identified it earlier, right?
Correct, yeah.
And her Apple Watch was linked to her phone, was it not?
It probably was, yeah.
You were also asked about the drop from the second floor window. Were you aware that the measurement from the window sill to the ground was actually 12 feet?
I've never measured it, but yeah, I believe what you're saying.
And
God, she's so cunty.
looking for one of the exhibits from defense counsel. It's the
She's trying to make the point that she was on a cocktail of all these drugs off and on, off and off and on. She went to McLean, she detoxed, she came back from McLean. She was only on 3 drugs and she was doing better, so she couldn't have been psychotic.
Also Lindsay sending
okay.
back and forth between herself and Elaine, is that correct?
Possibly.
There's different writing here, correct? Want to look at it?
Yeah.
For example, this first page after the cover, we have writing here.
How do you sleep at night?
It looks like it, yeah.
And then down here, there's a note.
She is cross-examining her own witness, D-Cool. She's literally trying to impeach this guy who's her own witness.
Notebook to communicate back and forth with the nanny about Callan's care.
She had different notebooks. She always had a notebook that she would leave for the babysitter or for me.
And so, for example, on Tuesday, September 4th, she wrote, last fed at 6 a.m. Give him a bottle whenever he wakes up. He likes it very warm. He's been resisting the bottle. If he won't drink it after 45 minutes of trying, please text me to let me know. Put down for next nap 1 hour after he wakes. Try to put down drowsy but awake. But if he cries, pick him up and rock, bounce, or hold him until sleep, then put down. He usually sleeps 45 minutes, but let him sleep as long as he wants.
Sounds like a good mom.
Detailed notes that Lindsay is sending to the nanny, correct?
Yeah.
And then she also wrote, if you have time, wash and cut up veggies, sweet potatoes, 1-inch cubes peeled, broccoli, small pieces, peppers, 1-inch pieces, plastic Ziploc bags to put them in. Next bottle 2.5 hours after the first bottle, correct?
I believe what you're reading, yeah.
So very particular about what she wanted the nanny to do, how she wanted her to do
Oh,
it.
come
when
on.
When to feed Callan, when to put him down for a nap, all of those.
She was being a fucking good mother. What the fuck
Sounds
is
like
wrong
it.
with you? Ugh. Ugh.
Again, Thursday, September 29th, 2022.
Exactly, Lady Harlot.
Please put him down for a nap at 9:30.
Harlow.
He'll be home from gymnastics at 11:45. Clean clothes and dryer if you get to it. So again, very specific times for putting him down and when to get up and asking her to do additional work like laundry and things like that, correct?
Yeah.
But he doesn't think she's controlling, and that's the point.
8:15, fell asleep at 8:40. Changing tables down in the bathroom. If he wakes before 9:40, give him 15 minutes to settle himself back to sleep. I'm hoping he will sleep till 10:15. If he is still asleep at 10:40, wake him. Feeding at 11 a.m. First try bottle. If he doesn't take it after 15 minutes, make oatmeal. 2 tablespoons of oatmeal. Make it thin with breast milk. Can heat for 5 to 10 seconds. Again, very specific directions on what she wants done. And
Oh, for
how she wants
fuck's
Callan to
sake.
correct?
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? She's a
If you
good
read the
mom.
book, it's more of the same, correct? Or have you even seen that?
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
She's trying to make it sound.
That would have been
Sorry.
Elaine Rossi.
And Elaine Rossi, how long was she the nanny for you guys?
A month or two. Yeah, probably 2 months.
And then she just needed more hours and moved on, and Lindsay was home, so
I think she preferred more hours. We couldn't really give it to her, and Lindsay was home anyways. So,
Okay. And as far as the records are concerned, it's fair to say that Lindsay, as a concerned mother, would give instructions to people that would be
Thank you.
taking care of her infant.
yeah, I would have done the same.
We had a
Wow.
discussion
Wow.
about these
Great
prescriptions
answer,
and scripts
Patrick.
from the different doctors, and one of the things you referenced was that you believe that she was on trazodone. And if I suggest to you that there was a doctor, Izad Parayarara Kavon, on November 16th of 22 that prescribed 50 milligrams of trazodone while she was on buspirone and fluoxetine. Does that refresh your memory that in November she was prescribed 50 grams of trazodone?
Yeah, I remember trazodone being like a part of the medication plan for a while.
And one of the things that you did, as we talked about, is you went to CVS and you got a list of all the drugs, right?
Right.
And if I suggest to you, sir, that this is just an easy reference with different colors for different doctors of exactly what the CVS provided, does that appear to be fair and accurate of the scripts that were
Yeah.
provided?
Yeah.
Can I see which one that is, please? No objection.
Okay, that may be admitted.
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. You may step down. Thank you.
I think
Counsel, could I see you?
Patrick, I think, is finally done. Let's just see what happens, like when we're coming back and what's going on. Tomorrow, just so you guys know, tomorrow I am going to be pretty busy away from the pod. But I will be back Friday morning to cover whatever happens tomorrow. And then it'll probably be an early morning stream on Friday, but that's the plan. Let's see if I can skip ahead a little bit here. Nope, that's it. Ugh. This woman, I can't with this prosecutor. I can't with this whole entire prosecution team. I just, how are you guys doing? Are you guys okay? Because this is a lot. Somebody, who was it? Lady Harlow, Lady Harlot, not sure how you pronounce it, Harlow, said, I leave notes like this for the dog sitter. She's just being thorough. So do I. And as someone who was a dog sitter, I got notes like this all the time. This is what people do. The snarky, bullshitty way the prosecutor is trying to act like she was a controlling bitch is just like, maybe you're projecting. Maybe that's what you're doing. Are you projecting, lady? Is that what you're doing?
I know it's been a long day for everyone, so we're going to excuse you till tomorrow morning. The hope is we'll start about 9. And kind of the same thing. We'll go to hopefully about 11, take a break at 11. We'll have a break from 1 to 2, and we'll go into the afternoon around 3 or 4. All right. So that's the thing. Remember, I'm going to ask you those questions about.
Okay. We get it, Judge. Oof. Everybody okay? That was a long day. And I have to be back on in about 3 hours. So I'm definitely going to bounce out of here. I appreciate y'all sitting with me and listening to me yell. Because that's pretty much what I was doing the whole time. I will let you know what's happening with the schedule tomorrow once I talk to Rebecca. But tonight, it's going to be Rebecca's last show until the 8th or 9th. I can't remember what the date is, but yeah, this is a tough one. Please take care of yourselves. Go outside and touch some grass, take a walk, be with your own kids, and let's hope that justice is served in this case. I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for the tips. If you want to give us a tip, we appreciate it. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, it's all in the chat and it's at the top of the screen. Please become a member if you're not a member, because we do our members only live streams once a week, sometimes twice a week. Tonight we're working on Cross Roast, which is a good time. I'm going to need it after this one. We'll be back at 7:30 tonight for that. So become a member if you're not a member. And I will see y'all tonight. Good. Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm Smile.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett. Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
The joylessness
I don't
of
give a
those
fucking
people.
miss. Blah.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears, but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
This is
Pull it,
literally
Jimmy.
because it's 100. It's been happening for the past day.
Oh, dear God. Everywhere's a hotspot when Dr. Wolf was on the TV. Am I right? Everywhere is a hotspot when Dr. Wolf is on the TV. I'm sorry. This is very funny.
What are you laughing about?
Because you're just sitting there waiting for the video to start.
I was listening this whole time. You
Listening to what? You're not playing anything, and now you're frozen. God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me text Mel. Let me call Mel real quick. I'm going to call Mel.
No, I'm not answering your call. I'm not doing it.
I don't think.
Why is it? Oh, Jesus.
Maybe go back on the Wi-Fi.
I am back on the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now? Should we do the show now? Should we do the show now? Rebecca? Rebecca, can you hear me? Can you hear me
Hello,
now?
Internet. Hello.
Hello? Hello, worldwide interwebs. Can you hear me? Let's do this. I have to look at my phone over here.
We're going to go members only.
Something's off. We're the ones who chase. Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off.